Okay, good morning everyone. This is not going to be a very technical speech. Don't be worried. I'm not going to talk about how to tweak the user interface. Other people are going to tell it better. But you may have seen the announcement that we have done about the user interface concept. And I wanted to, as this has been extremely successful in terms of positioning, I wanted to give a little background on this, and especially as a thank to the developers and the designers that have provided the solution, because of course when you speak about software, if you don't have the product, you cannot do any announcement. So from my side, being the person that is after marketing of LibreOffice, a big thank to all the developers and the designer, and Heiko is back on the corner, but I think he's been one of the key people. We have had quite strong discussions, but I think that at the end the result was extremely positive. So it's very, I'm going very quickly through the slides. We have a very complex user scenario at the moment. We go from people that is using laptops to CRTs on old screens, to wide screens, to mobile screens, and the user interface has to answer everything. And we have different generation. I think they're all in this room. I'm probably the only one here, but all the others are in the other generation. And if we look at how many PCs have people in different generation, you see that even people that is over their 70s starts to have an interesting number. So it's more than 25%. And of course they have side problem that make the user interface a very important, and you have to answer in a flexible way their needs. And if you look at screen sizes, this is amazing. These are the top, I think, 20 screen sizes, and you see that no one is having a real advantage. So the 1366 by 768, which is wide, is 19.1, but then you see all the others are very, they have tiny percentages, so that we cannot count on a single screen size. And these are computer skills by the OECD. These have to be interpreted because it tells that, for instance, in Japan, over 40% can't use computers. The reality is that the language in this case says they cannot control their computers when they're using it. So they depend from the computer, they are not able, and so the user interface is extremely important, because if you are not able to to manage your computer, then you depend from the user interface, from what you are able to do. And these are skills versus age. And of course you can see that skills go down, but they are not down to nothing. So it was very important to have a user interface that was flexible enough to answer to everything, to all the needs. So you know that with 5.3 that we have announced a few days ago, we have introduced the notebook bar. So now we have at least 3 different options, which is the traditional user interface with the bar on top and the sidebar on the side. We have this is what most people have seen in the last few years using LibreOffice. We have a more streamlined user interface without the sidebar and with a more sizable toolbar on top, and now we have the notebook bar. The notebook bar is an horizontal bar on top of the screen. Of course, this is similar to what most users of Microsoft Office are seeing on the screen since version 2007. So that is, but we wanted to have a positioning for that. And of course, this is something that we have tried to emulate the good marketing of proprietary software companies. So we have called our interface MUFFIN. Some people think that this is a cupcake, but we call it MUFFIN, okay? So it's my user-friendly and flexible interface, and of course because it's personal, user-friendly because it's user-friendly, you don't need to explain it. It's flexible because you have different options, and it's the interface. And I think that next slide shows the hits on our blog after the announcement. It was amazing. So these are the hits after the announcement of the user interface. And these are the hits after the announcement of the 5.3. So you see, and this is why I think it's important to, people may think that announcing the user interface may be a minor thing. It was not minor at all. 80,000 page views in one day. Well, usually we are around 15,000, so it was 4 or 5 times as many. And this is thanks to the work of, what I said, developers that have made the user interface workable, and designers that have made the user interface happen as it is. And I've tried to put everything together, but I think that the merit is on the technical side, because again, if you don't have something that works, you cannot announce anything. And I think I've been a lot shorter than supposed. I'm over. If you have questions, but don't ask me about technical stuff on the user interface. Other people are able to answer these questions. So I'm finished. It was not hard. But I think if you have questions on the user interface, we have the people that have made it possible. So you can ask technical questions, and I think people is able to answer them, not me.